Fire Emblem Engage is a game that throws a lot of information at you fast and quick, and it seemingly never stops until the end of the game. There is always something new that is going to be adding on top of the thing that you just learned. Well, in this video, I'm going to focus on 5 early game tips or things that you need to know as you progress through the different chapters in Fire Emblem Engage. What's going on, guys? I'm Dom from the Game Looters, and as always, I want to help you through your favorite games as well as mine, and in this case, we're talking about Fire Emblem Engage. Alright, without further ado, hit like and subscribe, especially if this helps you out, and let's get into the first tip. Support conversations are incredibly important. Not only do you get to see unique cutscenes between you, the Divine Dragon, and the multitude of surrounding characters, including those characters in between themselves, but there are several support bonuses that you get by having these support conversations in the game by simply ranking this up. So if you are ever adjacent to a character that you've been using for a long time, and you have no bonuses or nothing popping on the screen, well, I don't want you to be that guy or gal 10 chapters in, barely discovering the reason why is because you haven't been doing support conversations. So go ahead, hit the plus sign when you're at the thumbnail, hit references, and hit support conversations today, and get started on having those meaningful conversations between you and the other characters in the game. That way you can reap the benefits on the battlefield. Oh, also a bonus, don't forget the bond conversations between you and the emblem rings. Thank me after. Second tip is bond rings. Bond rings, you need to make them and you need to equip them. Especially early on in the game, you're gonna find out that you're gonna have more units than you have emblem rings. This sentiment is gonna be carried through most of the game, but fret not. Each of the different unique emblem rings can have bond rings created under them. These are unique characters that provide buffs to you from their respective games. To create one bond ring, it costs 100 bond fragments. To create 10, it'll cost you 1,000. So I suggest early on in the game, where your emblem rings are limited, to go ahead and create around 30 of these bond rings. That way you have options. What to know about them is C rank bond rings are going to give you 1 stat, B rank will give you 2 stats, A rank will give you 3 stats, and S rank will give you 3 stats plus a potential roll for a special skill. If you've made a sacrifice to the RNG gods, you might actually get one of these or multiple of these rolls, and they're going to be incredibly useful items to buff your units. Again, thank me later. Alright, tip number 3, or the third thing to know, is simply just understanding the weapon triangle. Yes, I know. Don't talk to me in the comments, I know the game explains this to you, but I want to really drive it home so it sticks, because just by simply knowing this, your battles will be immensely easier. It is essentially a rock, paper, scissors method. There are 3 main weapons that you're going to have an advantage over, and only one and a disadvantage against only one other. In the weapon triangle, swords are stronger against axes. Axes are stronger against lances. Lances are stronger against swords. There are also kind of like bonus tips to this as well, because there's also other things to know, because there are arts. Arts do exist in the game, and arts are going to be strong against bows, tomes, and knives. Combat arts have an advantage over these 3 types of weapons, including the bows, tomes, and knives, and it'll also allow you to inflict break on users that have these types of weapons. However, though, the other 3 weapon types still offer some type of combat advantage, so just kind of be cognizant or conscious of the triangle overall. Other things to know is bows are effective on flying units. This will be incredibly useful later. Tomes are going to beat armored units, so if you see those tanky units on the field, make sure you use tomes like fire and thunder. Knives are going to inflict poison, but this can be something to be kind of, again, very conscious of, because maybe only 1 or 2 weapon types are going to have this, but bonus, poison can also stack, so knife-wielding units are going to be very effective at supporting your teammates for taking down those really bulky, annoying units on the field. Class changes are going to be incredibly useful, so don't forget to do them. After Chapter 6, you will get your first Master Seal, and you'll be able to purchase them from the shop at 2,500 gold apiece. This is going to allow you to promote units into their final form and really tank them out. Of course, the old school Fire Emblem player in me says wait till your unit is at least level 15, or honestly really like 20, to actually promote your class. But hey, it's your game. If you feel that there is a class change you want to see happen now, this is going to become available after level 10. So once your unit hits level 10, you can go ahead and take advantage of this and really go ahead and change your classes. Alright, for real, we have the last tip here, and this is number 5. This is going to be the last one, and it's a big one. This one is how to farm bond fragments. So, how to farm bond fragments. These are going to be needed to increase your bond levels with your emblem rings, acquire skills, and a ton more. So you're going to want to bond fragment farm as soon as possible and become proficient and efficient in doing the following to make sure that you can farm bond fragments quick. The first thing to do is talk to allies during post-battle exploration. This is going to become available after Chapter 1. Simply by talking to all of your allies, you're going to be able to get bond fragments by most of them. The one thing that I found is the units that you use during battle are going to be the ones typically to give you bond fragments. The ones you didn't use typically will just have a conversation. Number 2, donate to different kingdoms. Don't forget to actually use this mechanic. This is going to become available after Chapter 3. By simply donating to the kingdoms, getting them to level 1, 2, 3, etc., you're going to be able to get bond fragments very quick and farm them up very quickly. But of course, you can only donate once to level 1, 2, 3, etc. The next thing is complete achievements. While you're there donating to kingdoms, there is also a achievement board, and you're going to naturally be doing this as you kind of go and play through the game. So just make sure that you hit ZL or ZR, I think it's one of the two on the controller, and make sure that you collect all of your achievements. You can go through individually or all at once, but you're going to get most of your bond fragments from just simply doing this. Again, this is available after Chapter 3. The next one is interacting with Sami. Sami is going to become available after Chapter 4. He is in the grotto. So after Chapter 4, beeline it to the grotto and go pet our favorite doggo, Sami. By simply petting him or feeding him, my boy Sami is going to be pooping out bond fragments left and right. And also in the grotto, you're going to find just a lot of bond fragments laying on the floor. So make sure you pet our boy. Alright, the next one is strength training at the yard. I know it sounds silly, it's not my favorite thing. Well, I kind of enjoy it a little bit, but regardless, available after Chapter 4, you're going to be able to do sit-ups, squats, push-ups, and get a bunch of different bond fragments by simply completing these different tasks at the strength training yard. Alright, the next one is literally my favorite thing to do in the Somniel, and that's fishing. Fishing becomes available after Chapter 8. Not only can you catch a bunch of awesome fish, like rare fish to be able to cook and increase your cooking meals, you're also just going to be able to have a lot of fun doing it. And by doing it, you're also going to get bond fragments as well. So make sure this is in your rotation of things to do when you visit the Somniel. The very last thing is about halfway through, or I guess a little later game, depending where you're at or how you view it. This is available after Chapter 11, and that is Wyvern Riding. When you unlock Ivy, she's going to also unlock the Wyvern Riding thing. It's like a little game that you play. It's kind of like a beat-em-up shooter. No, how do you say it? Like a shmup? Is that what they call them? They call them a shmup. It's going to be like a shmup kind of thing that they unlock. Essentially, you'll get bond fragments by doing this. Probably my least favorite thing to do, but regardless, you get bond fragments. Alright, that's been the 5 tips that's going to help you out early on and just kind of give you more knowledge of Fire Emblem Engage. Make sure you drop an emoji so I know that you're seeing you see me. And of course, make sure you like and subscribe before you dip out. And I will see you on the battlefield. Peace out.